The 90-day fiance streets right now are hot. So much tea to come. But in this video here, we're going to start off with Seth and Veronica. Now, in the most recent video that I made regarding these two, I spoke about how it is evidently clear that a divorce was now on the way, simply because Seth had come out with a series of different posts and then also ended up deleting his own account. And therefore, it really showed us that there was clearly a rift happening between him and Veronica. And also, prior to that, them two were both arrested for domestics as well, which already exposed that these two should have never gone through with their wedding. Honestly, when they decided to still get married after the domestic, a lot of us just shook our heads and said, this is not going to end well. And here we are. Now, I did say to you guys, if I get any more information about the situation when it comes to Veronica and Seth, I'll let you know. But at the same time, I personally didn't believe it was going to come this soon. And most certainly didn't think it was going to come from Veronica. But as per 90-Day Fiancé update, they've been able to catch the screenshots that I could not get in time. See, time difference is a pain, man. But either way, though, what the F with the sugar? Let's get into it. So these are posts that were made by Veronica on her stories. What are the 5 stages of the cocaine addiction? So this is her already telling us, already implying that, guess what, folks? When it came to her and Seth, Seth was definitely somebody that was quite high on the supply, which is bad. Bad to the point that she still decided to be with this man. Bad to the point that she still decided to even marry this man. Like, why would you be with somebody that takes substance when you know you've even got a child as well? What kind of influence is he going to be on your daughter? But we continue. Try your hardest to be optimistic. It really does help. No matter what life throws at you, get the habit of gently reminding yourself, I have so much to be thankful for. Living a life of gratitude will heal you. Now listen, as well as, even though that's a very good quote itself in particular, at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that Veronica is a woman who's a grown-ass woman. I don't know if she's in her late 30s or now in her 40s, but you think at a woman who is in that age, who has been a mother, who is a mother, would have made a better choice when it came to marrying a man that allegedly was high on supply. Now, of course, this is one of those screenshots at the time that came out when Seth made one before his account got taken away. Well, before he took his account away. Be like grass. If they break up, cut them. A fish is like mouth closed, never gets caught. Let people talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. Revenge has no expiry date. I'll be back when I'm ready. Nah, just forgive them, but don't forget what they did. Now, again, this one here is one hell of a crazy one because I don't know what he's talking about, but clearly he's saying that revenge is going to have Veronica does not have an expiry date. That doesn't scream good news. This is going to get worse. Just by that alone, it seems like it's going to get worse. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about another arrest between these two at some point. But Veronica had other stories as well that she came out saying things like this. Loving someone with an addiction feels like living with a rebellious teenager. The fact that you actually got a teenager as well, or had a teenager, is crazy business. There's no planning for the future and a refusal to acknowledge the past, yet you still married this man. A message from your addicted loved one. You think this is about you. You replay every memory, every argument, every missed sign. You wonder where you went wrong. You both got arrested for domestics. What do you mean? That's a big sign. How do you miss that sign? For me personally, the reason why I feel like I'm being harder and harsher on Veronica more than him is because she's a freaking mother. They say that generally speaking, a lot of people are better at choosing partners once they have kids. But unfortunately, when it comes to 90-Day Fiancé, a lot of these people who return to the show, guess what? Don't ever really think about their kids. And let's be real. Let's break it down a little bit. She's not the first one who's picking herself and picking her madness over the fact that she's bringing someone who isn't good enough to be around her kids. We've also got Tiffany. Tiffany's done it herself in particular. Hell, her son has been pretty much her parent this whole bloody time. The whole situation with taking him to South Africa, having to meet Ronald, and then also, having a sister, but then also now being back in America, now meeting this other guy, and the whole thing has never been great. That's why people have always questioned that. Then we've also got the chicken lady. How she's a parent blows all of our minds. Then we got Angela Dean. How she's a parent blows all of our minds. And even her kids and their parents themselves. Like, honestly, this 90-day world blows my mind when it comes to people that are active parents. We got Jasmine, who literally abandoned her kids in Panama. The list goes on and on and on. Now they've really picked her nearly picked Gina over her daughter. To be fair, she did pick Gina over her daughter because she gave Gina another chance when she shouldn't have. Do you see what I'm saying? Darcy and Stacey continue having toxic relationships in front of their daughters or their sons. I don't know if Stacey has kids, but they're not actually on the show. You know what I mean? But you see what I'm saying? There's a pattern here. It's getting exhausting. That's why I'm so much harsher on her, because she's a parent. It is sickening me. It's annoying me. It's frustrating. Continues by saying, loving a person in active addiction will break you before it saves you. You chose to want to love this man. Let's just put it out there. Love is a choice. There is something powerful about the way your heart still learns towards hope. Even after disappointment, even after uncertainty, a part of you still believes in goodness. Protect that part. It is your light. I mean, darling, it seems to me when it came to your light, you allowed it to dim. You allowed it to shut down. You allowed it to shh. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah. Either way, though, Veronica can say whatever the hell she wants to say within these posts. Hell, Seth can also say whatever the hell he wants to say in these posts. But the grand scheme of it is, this man should have never entered the life of this woman in the first place, given the fact that he may actually be somebody that is on substance. And he's somebody that should go off and get cleaned before he enters anyone's life. Get clean and also work on his anger issues. These are the two main things that this guy has to work on moving forward regardless. And Veronica, she needs to really start thinking about her child more than thinking about herself. Because this isn't good news in any shape or form, okay? She really needs to think about the way she behaves and her actions and her choices. Because these things are absolutely appalling. Allowing a man like this to be in your life, to be around your daughter, is just disgusting. Grotesque. It's unnecessary. But with that being said, though, let me know your thoughts on that itself in particular. We're now going to move on to the next part of this video. And this one here is all about the new cast member called Marissa. Now, Marissa is on the show right now with Edward. Now, here's the thing that some of you guys may know already or may not know. But it turns out that Marissa and Edward are potentially already married. Because as you can see, it says, our love story continues with the easiest yes I ever said. Now, this one is rather interesting because it makes us wonder, are they actually married or are they just engaged? And that is why they're still in the show. But even if they were married, it still wouldn't stop them from being in the show because they wouldn't be the first couple. You know, we've had several couples come over. The last one was Manion and Anthony. Two people that are already married, but yet they were 90 Day Fiance the other way. It made no sense. But, you know, married, but yeah, fiancés, yeah. You make it make sense. But I would imagine, though, when it comes to the flagship show itself in particular, 90 Day Fiance, no one should be in a position where they're already married. Realistically, right? You see what I'm saying? But again, this is only evidence to show that these two are two people that are definitely engaged, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are married. I hope, for context purposes, they're not married just yet, so therefore it actually fits the description of what the show is all about. But either way, though, even if they are, it is what it is. This is not the first time TLC have done their own thing, if you know what I mean. So do what you will with that piece of information. Now, we're going to move on to the next one itself. Now, this one here is rather interesting. Now, when it comes to the situation right now with Kimberly and Wayne. Kimberly obviously recently went to the UK to meet Wayne in the single life. Now, some of us, including myself, have said that it seems to me as if these two don't really have much chemistry. In fact, it feels as if Wayne isn't really into Kimberly like that. Well, according to 90 Day Fiance update, apparently, rumor has it, is it over? Rumor has it Kim and Wayne are no longer dating. Some things Wayne said Kim allegedly did not like. The 90 Day single cast has to share pics of their couples to keep relationship status under wraps until the tale is aired. What do you think? Well, be the other way. Read these two, or has Kimberly moved on just like my source said? Thank you for my eagle-eyed follower. Now, here's the thing though. Do I want to see Kimberly come back for another season of 90 Day Fiance? 90 Day Fiance the other way? I mean, personally, this season, based on this season, hell no. Most of her season was more about her adopted kids than it was about an actual love story. We got a small segment of her love story, to be honest with you. So to be honest with you, if they're going to bring it back, actually give us context that we can actually work with that relates to relationships. If it's not going to be the basis on that, then please just leave it alone. We don't need to know. It's not necessary. It's just whatever. All right. But hey, either way, though, you can do what you want with that piece of information. No, but either way, it's up to them how they want to go about it. But do you guys want to see Kimberly back for another season with Wayne on the other way? But also on top of that, though, 90 Day Fiance update does say that her source or his source has claimed that apparently these two are no longer together anymore. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's more likely these two are not together, or more likely they will be coming back for another season? And which one would you prefer? Actually, no, that's kind of mean, isn't it? Imagine saying that I prefer that they broke up. But do it anyway. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Now, this is where things get even more juicy. So the situation right now with Kimberly is one, but then when it comes to her son Jamal right now has been under a lot of fire due to the fact that he's now exited 90-day bad boys, and then also on top of that, rumors come out that one of the reasons that could have been it was because he was too busy trying to sleep with all the girls that Rob was with beforehand. Well, now we're in a situation where things have gotten a little bit more interesting to Jamal, but not just with Jamal, but also with Liz. Liz is somebody else that's also been under fire this season, simply because she went all the way to DR to start a whole fling with a guy, knowing that she had a whole other guy back home. The same guy that we now know she is engaged with. Now, people do know this. People also know that Kimberly and Liz are quite close friends. Now, according to Shabooty.com, apparently, breaking news says the latest tease that these two have been smashing. Interesting. So information has come out to claim that these two have been in a situation where they've actually been, doing a little dilly-dally. And the question is, if you want to talk about timelines, the timeline would then ask the question, or have these two been doing the dirty based on when Liz was actually engaged to the guy she's with now, or have they been doing the dirty maybe before that, before she went to DR and before she met the guy? Well, this is where things obviously get interesting themselves in particular. As reported here, even by the Shabooty himself in particular, it does say here, if you look right here where it has been highlighted, Kim feels betrayed when Liz reveals a secret that threatens the future of their friendship. That is something that I had read somewhere else, but I don't know. Luckily, I remembered it was here too. Either way, though, this adds more fire to the fuel of what we are hearing. Again, I do apologize for the unpreparedness there. It's been a long day, folks, okay? So much content has been made today, okay? Allow me. So, therefore, it does bring the question, has Liz and Jamal been doing little... Let me know your thoughts. Now, based on the way Liz has behaved throughout the season, I'm going to say it feels to me as if it is probably true. And also based on the rumors regarding Jamal, it is potentially true as well. But hey, either way, do what you will with this information itself in particular. Let me know your thoughts. But we're now going to move on to the next one. Now, the last time we saw Trisha on the tail of 90-Day Fiance. And at the tail, we saw that she was now pregnant, as you can see here. But as you can see, she has now announced that it is a boy. But not only that, but also pictured here. And it says, baby is here. My first year as a mum. I feel so lucky to be able to call myself mummy. Happy Mother's Day to my mum. So as you can see, Trisha has obviously let us know that her child is probably a year old, because she says, my first year as mum. Unless she also included the first 9 months of also being pregnant too, because depending on where you are in the world, technically speaking, when you're born, that's technically you're 9 months old. That's what, yeah. So you can't be 1 year, because 1 year is 12 years. Hey, that's slightly confusing now. But yeah, I'm sure you've heard that in some countries, you are already 1 year old by the time that you were born, or at least 1 year old 3 months after your birth. It's wild. And then some of us live by a whole different life where we wait until our first actual birthday since the day we're born, and then we say now we are 1 year old, because technically speaking, that means we now have spent 1 year out of our mum's belly, you know what I mean, actually breathing the fresh air. So hey, do what you will with that type of perspective and how you want to go about it. But either way though, Trisha was able to have a successful delivery, which is the main thing. So congratulations to her on her successful delivery as a mother. Okay, now with that being said, this one here, I know you folks here, I know you folks have always been thirsty for this cast members. All the men and women have always seen her the most beautiful person in the world, and they've always said, you know what, I'll be so happy if she was finally ever to make a OF account. And you know what, folks, she has gone and done it. Danielle has now put herself on the OnlyFans. So go on, folks, go spend your hard work, your hard-earned money, and go sign up. Woo! Damn. Let me stop there. Then we got Tim here saying, Poor girl. Someone subscribed to her. Savage. Absolutely savage. So hey, if you guys want to obviously, you know, share some support and you want to go subscribe to her page, then hey, do what you will and go and enjoy yourselves. I have no heart, I have no soul. I shouldn't be laughing this hard, but hey, it is what it is. Now, when it comes to the new cast members themselves in particular, there is a new cast member called Shea. Now, Shea, well, things aren't looking good for him, but there was a girl called Stephanie. Stephanie is a friend, okay, of Shea that appeared on the first episode of 90 Day Fiance, who unfortunately was gunned down by her husband in December. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Obviously, she's still in the show. Now, bear in mind, obviously, if you guys do want to venture and you do want to learn more about it, feel free to. The information is here on Starcasm_IG. If you want to obviously learn more about, obviously, the situation. But it does say the victim was transported to a local hospital where she was pronounced deceased. Now, the only thing that I want to say, because I don't want to read everything that went down personally, the main thing that I want to say is that I hope all of the money, if the fact that TLC still went forward by putting her on the show, I hope that the family will get some sort of money for their daughter being put on, or sister, or whatever, or you know what I mean, being put on TV. Because I would imagine they would have had to ask permission from the family to continue with putting her on here. Do you see what I'm saying? So I hope the family has been compensated for TLC still going through putting it on there, because out of respect, you really wouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't do it unless you've obviously been given permission by the people that are obviously liable for it. So I hope that they still went and got permission from the family, regardless of whatever prior permission they would have got from Stephanie and stuff in particular, and any money that Stephanie was maybe going to get. Because we have to remember, when it comes to, not everybody gets paid on TLC, right? Whenever you go on there, the only people that get paid is the actual main cast member. If your friends or whatever come on the show, they don't actually necessarily profit in any shape or form per se. So there was a chance that she was never going to be able to actually get any money, but because she's still on the show, maybe it would be good if the family, if Sharp and Tame was to still give the family something. But maybe I'm moving mad. Let me know your thoughts on that one and stuff in particular. But whilst we're still talking about Shea stuff in particular, Shea himself, well, unfortunately for him, Shea was boating under the influence. And as you can see, not everything that happens on the lake stays on the lake. Starcasm can reveal that 90 Day Fiance Shea McGee was arrested for boating under the influence in 2021. He later pleaded no contest to a lesser charge of reckless operation of a vessel. Now, hopefully he has learned his lesson and this won't happen ever again. Because honestly, people that drink under the influence, or people that drink even when they're tired, you're really being selfish to the other people on the road. Because if you drink under influence, you may put yourself in a position where you are going to not only just harm yourself, but harm somebody else, to the point that you may even take your own life or that person's life. And the same thing can happen if you are driving tired as well. So please make sure that when you drive, you are fully focused on the road and fully focused on all hazards coming possible. Do not put yourself in a position, whether you're driving on the road or whether you're driving on a lake, it doesn't matter. If you're behind a vehicle and you shouldn't be behind one, don't be behind something that bloody moves. Hell, it could be a bicycle for all I care. Don't do it, because even a bicycle can still hurt you or hurt someone. Bear this in mind, all right? But either way, that this happened literally 5 years ago, so hopefully Shea is a changed person since then. But again, if you want to find out more details regarding the information, then feel free to go over to Starcasm and obviously check it out for yourselves. Now, with that being said, though, thank you so much for your time. Now, there is so much more content to come as well regarding 90 Day Fiance, so stay tuned, because boy, the content has just been hot this week. Oh, I can't keep up so much that today I'm even uploading 2 videos. Can you imagine? And then there'll be more tomorrow. Now, with that being said, please, for the Lord of mercy, make sure you always leave all your hype points for moi and hype the videos. Please subscribe, like, notifications button, and most importantly, always check your subscriptions every day to see if I've uploaded, because YouTube are not great at actually notifying people that actually subscribe to your channel, which is wild. Most of the views that you get are actually people that aren't even subscribed, and those people are the ones you subscribe anyway, you know what I mean? And then check the channel. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, and yeah, look after yourselves.